Good evening, comrades, and welcome back to AK-47 Radio, bringing you the best of the motherland, but with better cars. I think I've used that one in the past, but as it is, tonight we have, as usual, the comrade of commissars and head of the current vehicular department of motors, William. How you doing, sir?
Boa noite, comrades.
See, Will, you need a last name. Will just doesn't do it. Will Dooley.
I mean, he is dad.
Will Dooley. Oh, the comrade cosmonaut General Mikhail Gonsalves died of space AIDS, and here desperately trying to avoid work in that car factory where Commissar Dooley's working. It's me, Sam Alexander.
Don't think I saw you take 15 minutes for your 10-minute break.
It's okay. I brought a hand grenade to work.
As one does.
But it's just for me. It's not for anybody else. It's not workplace violence if it's a suicide, is it?
You know,
to be fair, it's
a lot of things.
To be fair, it's not even a suicide. It's just to unclog the toilets.
I mean, I have been eating a lot of Wendy's lately.
I see on my end, it's a lot of cabbage and kielbasa. You know, you get too much of that going. You eat some potatoes to get the fiber too, but it just doesn't help. And then next thing you know, every work toilet's clogged up. It's as bad as the Home Depot.
Ugh.
I don't know what it is about Home Depot. They go in there and they forget how to flush a toilet.
There's so many places like that. And all these fucking low flow toilets these days too.
Oh, unacceptable behavior.
There's two of those in of the 5 toilets in my house, 2 of them are low flow, and it is obnoxious.
Low flow toilets are capitalism so in love with itself that it has forgotten human decency and found only water conservation. Unacceptable behavior. We need to start the revolution. Low flow toilets and low flow shower heads.
Oh yeah, same.
But at least I know how to fix the low flow shower head.
That's easy. Even I can do that.
True. Well, geez, way to make me sound bad. Even I can do that. Shut up.
I mean, you have skills that I don't, and vice versa.
I'm a man of certain skills.
So
I will find you. I will unclog your toilets. Actually, that's not a threat. I will find you. I will clog your toilets.
I was going to say, let's do that instead. So today is my last day, or actually technically tomorrow is my last day at my current job. Moving on to other things.
Oh, so no more of the car factory. Now you're going to move on to missile development?
Sure. We'll go with that. I still have no idea what the job really entails, but it'll be cool to get a change of pace.
Don't mind me. I'm sticking up a row of sticky LED lights to my monitor, which as soon as my wife finds she's going to be pissed.
Yeah, the janitor has discovered lighting, because apparently this isn't primarily just an audio podcast anymore.
China. I discovered China.
I mean, I knew you were going to order the Temu version instead of the Amazon version that I sent you, which I guarantee you is also Chinese.
Oh, guaranteed. But to be fair, it's the AliExpress version. I have slightly more class than Temu. At least AliExpress has been around a little while. Now, Alibaba is the OG.
Same. Is all same.
Oh, no. Okay. No, I had to get some actual lights down here because I need to get the video done for the shooting challenge. So we need to get to the range and get a little bit more B-roll. And then once that's done, I actually have proper lighting down here instead of those giant LED, like triple LED panels that they sell for garages.
Yeah, we need to schedule that. I also need to schedule more days off anyway, so that'll make it easy to go during the week. Yeah, no, you look like an alien with the blue. Oh, and the purple. The blue and the purple are both bad.
What's M do? Oh, now it changes colors.
Oh, God. You're like a fucking Christmas tree.
Yeah, but I have the good type of Christmas tree with the flammable lights. It's just the LED Christmas tree that makes everybody sad.
Rimfire Radio says same. Looked a lot like docking. That was kind of the goal.
Look, docking is only gay if one penis can hug the other.
I don't know if that's true or not.
I don't think it's true at all.
I think I want to have that conversation with you.
I wouldn't put any money on that.
Also, Mr. Klecker, welcome.
Indeed. Mr. Klecker, I need to talk to you soon about the things that we talked about, because I meant to text you over the weekend, and then the weekend went by really fast. It's like, oh, well, I'll hit him on Monday, and then now it's Tuesday. Time flies when you're suffering.
You pulled a Sam. Indeed.
Oh, indeed I did.
Yeah.
You know what else I pulled Sam on?
Oh, what? God.
Episode 47 of AK-47 Radio, and I, in my infinite wisdom, didn't think that I should have an actual, like, serious topic involved.
You know what? I'm not going to count it because the first 6 or 7, 6, 7 wasn't us. So I'll say our episode 47 is episode 47.
True. It's the prequels. Nobody counts the prequels. Except for when the sequels come out, the sequel trilogy comes out, and then pretty soon everybody looks back and goes, maybe those prequels weren't all half bad.
You know what? Jar Jar took a lot of strays that he did not deserve. Just
in hindsight, we treated you too harshly.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I can't remember if I brought this up before or not. But so this is a mind virus in everybody's brain that's listening or watching. There's a fan fiction theory that I know I've talked about before, but maybe not on the show, that the Indiana Jones movies were just Han Solo's dreams while he was encased in carbonite.
I've heard of that one.
Yes. So if you have not heard of that, let that brain worm just dig itself in there and live rent-free forever. If I have to have that problem, you do too.
Well, we're going to talk about the fan fiction theory that Lindsey Graham may have been killed by the Russians. Or should we not touch on that one?
I legitimately think that it could have been one or the other or both. I don't think it was necessarily just solely blamable on the Russians, but I don't think it was, he just died suddenly after going to Ukraine.
All I know is he toured a Ukrainian drone factory that the Russians blew up, like, boom. Like, supposedly the day before he died. I'm just like, wait a minute.
Evidence disposal.
Wait a minute. Like, oh shit. Hey doctor, yeah, you know that but it's a Ukrainian doctor. Hey doctor, you know that death certificate there? We're gonna turn that, I don't know what date it was. We're gonna turn that 6 into a 7. All right, here's $10,000 and some vodka, and then he dies in a car crash on the way home. So it's all very convenient. I'm just saying it's a possibility. It's just a little sus, as the kids say.
I do not disagree with you. It is very sus. But I guess we'll never know. Hey, more UFO files.
Oh, no, we'll never know for sure. Well, that's too dark. I'm going to take so much playing around with this lighting shit.
Something I'm actually very excited about was the other night. So for some people last night, for some people that caught it and thought we were doing like an emergency stream or something, we did a test stream because we're going to have a guest, Washington Gun Law, again, next week. Keep that episode in mind because that's going to be one you don't want to miss. We're going to have a guest on. And so we wanted to be able to have the stream on multiple platforms. So like Country Boy Guns is going to be streaming it. We're going to give Washington Gun Law the option to stream it to his channel if he wants to, while we discuss why Sam has ADHD over his lights. And also Colorado's new stupid law.
Yeah, and we basically, we did that so that we wanted to make sure too, because that will probably be a longer episode of this show. And so in order to make sure that if this one runs long, it doesn't interfere with another project going on. Oh, yeah.
Rimfire Radio says make sure you plug next week's episode in the Rimfire Radio Discord.
Oh, see, no, I didn't actually get permissions to tag at everyone in Rimfire Radio for this purpose. I did it so that when the day comes that I accuse you people of having dirt on the Clintons, it gets to as many people as possible.
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
I mean the AOC sticker that's behind you.
Rimfire Radio may or may not have evidence of the Clintons' misdeeds.
I mean, the entire public has that evidence. We all just, well, most of us like living enough that we don't bring it up much.
You leave AOC back there alone. She hasn't done anything wrong.
Oh, trust me, I'll leave her alone. You don't have to worry about that.
All she does is hang out in the back of that 7.62x39 mag and bother no
one. I wish that was true.
Although I got to move her to a spot where I don't block her with my head.
Yeah.
Only Dems. I really wish I knew who made this sticker.
I'm sure you could find it or have AI generate more. I can't find it.
I mean, you could have AI generate more, but what's the fun in that? Anyway, so we got Washington gun law coming on next week. What is his real name again?
It is Bill Kirk.
Okay.
And I don't feel bad saying that because he's a lawyer and he has a legal name that he uses for all
Dr.
things.
Scary Guy, don't stick it in crazy or retarded. She qualifies as both. Yes, but by mathematical law, double negatives equal a positive.
I'm going to let you take the hit.
She can be fixed.
She probably should be fixed, but
that's a story for another time. So we got that, and we've heard back from a couple of I don't want to name them just in case stuff falls through, like it did with another company that I named a while ago. But a couple of our goals contacts have panned out, so we should have some. I mean, aside from Washington gun law, we should have some other pretty sweet guests coming on here soon.
Yeah, pretty excited. You guys have a guest on Let's Go Hunt tonight too.
We do on Let's Go Hunt, which means if you're listening to this live, you probably already roll over from one show to the next. If you're listening to it after the fact and you were aware of a YouTuber by the handle of Hootie Hoo, he'll be over on Let's Go Hunt on the same episode, same week that this show publishes. He'll be on the Let's Go Hunt episode of that. So that should be a good time. Oh, Dr. Scary Guy says she's freezing her eggs so she can redistribute her wealth to a rental uterus. Okay, maybe she can't be fixed.
Also, that's not very communist. Expecting to rent a uterus.
No, it's not. In fact,
it's very capitalist.
In fact, it's downright imperialist. She's colonizing that uterus. Get her away.
God.
Oh, that's messed up. Show title: Uterus Colonizer.
I mean, I think you qualify for that title.
I don't think. Actually, there's nothing. I don't think there's anything obscene with that title. Maybe we can name the show that.
I mean, it's a medical term.
There you go. It's a medical episode
on a comedy podcast.
Indeed.
Yeah, today kind of was a lot. Last minute call did not go through. Hopefully we get to reschedule that. Had some work stuff I had to go in and do, and found out last minute that Mike is on his way to the ISS tonight. So
no, he died of space AIDS, remember?
No, I don't remember. I have bad short-term memory. Leave me alone.
Dr. Scary Guy is he's on a roll tonight. Listen, poor women, it's uterus, not uter you. Your body will serve the state. This man has too much time on his hands.
And it sounds like other things.
Or maybe it's the lack of the other things. So he just dwells on it too much.
Hey, that hurts. That hits home.
Oh, doesn't it for everybody? All right. So the one little update, I mean, serving the party's interest tonight. Speaking of serving the party's interests, did we talk about our incestuous M1As? I don't know. We don't need to talk about the incestuous M1As, but Dooley from the AR-15 podcast sent me a Bassett. Yeah, Bassett scope mount for an M1A.
Is it Bassett or Sadlac? I thought it was a Sadlac.
It's a Bassett.
Ah.
Which is perfectly fine, except for when I open the package and it's hang on.
Also, Senor Dooley has entered the chat. So this was perfect timing.
The wall is too far away. It's a Weaver mount, but they come off at a 45-degree angle, which you probably cannot see in the picture at all whatsoever. But it gives more clearance for the ejection port, so it's not going to hopefully have as many issues with ejecting as some mounts do. But I'm sitting here going, shit, I don't have any Weaver mounts. And then I realized that the fucking Vortex rings I have sitting around say they're compatible with both. And fucking sure enough, it is. So nice. Now I've got a 2 to 12 Athlon sitting on my scout squad, and that is going to be my bear rifle this year, I think.
That's also some good bell clearance for that forward rail, the scout rail.
It's just about perfect.
Yeah.
And the scope is, I think, mostly centered over the rifle.
You might even be able to squeeze a thermal in front of that if you had one.
Oh, it's actually a little bit offset to the right, but hey, it'll be fine.
Yeah, most of the M14 mounts were.
Well, it's like a lot of the original side rail mounts for AK rifles was they were almost always offset to the left at that point, mostly because of, again, clearing the iron sights. Because the assumption was if you have an optic sitting on this rifle, which the side rail mounts on AKs were not standardized at all, I believe, until about the AK-74. I'll have to double check myself on that. But yeah, the assumption being that, oh, we'll give this guy a scope. Sweet. Well, what if this guy needs to shoot down his rifle? Well, fuck, we'll just have to clear the iron sights, which the M1 Grand, the M1D.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. Yeah, I was just about to bring up the M1D. No cheek weld. They actually, at Goals, there's a company that's doing reproduction mounts and optics for a lot of older guns. So like the 1903 Springfield, the M1 Garand. It's really cool because that's another booth I stopped by. They're toolless and they're not tools, but they're non-permanent modifications. So you don't have to like drill receivers and things like that. The M1D one that the guy is making is basically just a replacement for the rear sight that latches on, so you can put it on, take it off, and you're not bubbling original rifle, which is cool.
You have to send me their info because I don't think I saw that, and I have an M1 sitting back there that I wouldn't mind doing that too for shits and grins.
I'll have to go back and look at the footage because I don't remember the name of the company. I have their sticker on my fridge, but it was cool. It's a guy that you can tell that's his TISM because it's a part of. You remember the company that was there? I don't remember the name, but they had the hand guards with batteries and fans in them to cool barrels and suppressors.
I don't remember their name either, but I remember looking at that and going,
yeah,
okay, that's a bit much.
Yeah, I was not the biggest fan of I mean, it's a, good idea for like PRS shooters and stuff, but not something I would be interested in. But anyway, it was like a side project essentially from that company.
Dooley's got it right. Waffen.
Yeah, Waffen Tactical. That was it.
Which is really good, which threw me for a loop because that was Waffen, and Clicker says Warden, but there was a Waffen something at Goals, at least on the vendor list, because there used to be a company making they're in the US and they're doing parts kit builds of AK-74 pattern rifles, and they were Waffen Works. And I do not believe Waffen Works is in business anymore, but there was a point in time Works, spelled with an ERKS.
Yeah.
Oh, are they still in business? Oh, they might actually still be in business, at least on a small scale. Maybe. I don't know. Either way, for a while, they were people in the AK files were like, oh yeah, these guys are the shit. And then after a while, it's like, oh no, they seem to be having issues. And then it went back and forth. And then before you know it, half people hate them, half people love them.
That's a lot of companies. But yeah, they were even making for the 1903 that super skinny straw, long, like 2-power scope. they're making that you could throw on without permanent modification.
I used to want a like a Uberti 1873 Winchester clone, and you can get like the from the late 1800s, the big old telescopic tube scopes and throw one of the. I want to do that for a long time.
That doesn't surprise me. Rimfire Radio said he respects you more or hates you less or something after seeing your gun. So I want part of that action too. I has M14 as well. This is lore now. Fancy. This is lore.
Yeah, the sloppy seconds M14.
Yeah, I still got to get the flash hider with the bayonet lug on it and a bayonet, but
you have the weirdest obsession with bayonet lugs. I love it.
It's one of my things.
It's one of his tisms.
Technically, this is also the first rifle I was issued in the military, so I'm trying to build a clone of that, and it had a bayonet lug on it. It also had a selector that was permanently welded in the semi-auto position, but
now to really make it clone correct, we need to weld a steel rod in the barrel.
No, I actually want to be able to shoot this one.
No, it's clone correct, damn it.
I'm allowed artistic liberties. It's also why I put the canvas sling back on it, even though the leather is halt.
But yeah, I had to go back and double check myself a little bit, but it was the AKM N and then AKM S, and specifically they started throwing the side rails on them for the big ass fucking night vision scopes.
Yeah, with the eye cup and everything.
Well, all of most of those Eastern Bloc scopes had eye cups on them for some.
That's true. The Dragunov did,
but like the 1PN51, like the freaking scope, like the night vision scopes that look like a mag light had sex with another mag light and created a bigger mag light.
I mean, that's pretty reminiscent of the M3 carbine from Vietnam, with that giant monstrosity of a night vision scope and giant monstrosity of a night vision illuminator that weighed as much as the gun, if not more.
These were Starlight scopes, so they don't require an illuminator. They are very. I missed out on buying one from Varusteleka in Finland a while back because it said it was non-functional. And at non-functional, most of these coming into the country were to some extent, and a lot of guys figured out battery conversions for them. But I didn't want to spend $300 at the time on an unknown because there was no returns. So, but it's fine. I have actual fucking night vision now instead of these horrible things. Gen 1, baby.
Still yet another regurt from back when things were available and not expensive.
That's the type of night vision that freaking that in the generation to follow that Desert Night Camo was supposed to be able to defeat. Or at least
I was wondering about that.
Which I have no idea if it actually could. And then nobody gave a crap about Desert Night Camo forever until Grand Thumb did a video wearing it, and now suddenly everybody loves it.
No, it's like M81 went out of fashion, although M81 has always been sexy as fuck.
So M81's always been sexy as fuck. So also in the box that Dooley sent me, and I think I want to turn this into something of like a little micro segment on some shows, sent me, and I've seen these at the surplus store for Chinese vehicles, but World Equipment Identification Cards, Russian edition, U.S. Army Training and Doctrine Command. Come on. It reminds me very much of, you remember back to the Iraq War, and they did the face cards of the deck of 52.
Yeah.
You don't remember that? I do.
Because the Ace of Spades was Saddam, right?
Yeah, because then it popped up in a video game, Mercenaries World in Flames, which I played the absolute crap out of as a kid. And sure enough, they transferred that right into the video game where the supreme leader of North Korea, who was not Kim Jong-il, but close enough to Kim Jong-il, was the Ace of Spades. But one thing I figured we could
Kim Jong-il?
Kim Jong-il?
No, I thought it was Kim Sung. Fuck, I don't remember. The granddaddy of the current fatty.
No, the daddy of the current fatty.
Oh, that was Kim Jong-il.
Kim Jong-un? No, Kim Jong-un's current, so it's Kim Jong-il. Yeah, whatever.
They don't matter anyway. We don't need to talk about them.
We don't count you as real people. But I figured I could shuffle these up real quick. And then future episodes, I'd actually take a little bit of time maybe only do for about 5 minutes. But hey, you know what? Who doesn't love armored vehicles? At least I do. Mike would be like, I don't give a fuck. They're not airplanes.
That's true.
I want to see what came out on top and see if I recognize it.
If it shoots missiles, I would give a fuck. But otherwise, I'd be like, it's not an EW truck, so I don't care.
Okay, what came out on top is the 9A-52-4 multiple rocket launcher. Okay.
All right, missiles. I like it.
Multiple rocket launchers are fucking cool.
Yeah.
Range of 90 kilometers. Main weapon, 120, 220, and 300 millimeter rockets. You need to talk for 2 seconds because that's not one. Oh, you know what the card underneath it is? And this is cheating because I don't have to bury it in the deck. Is the fucking the ZSU-23. The Strelka. I could have talked about that thing. Well, thanks, cards. You fucked me over again.
You ever heard of the Avenger?
Shit, probably, but the name's not ringing a bell right now.
It's pretty cool. The only reason I know I can talk about it is because I've seen pictures and places of things. But yeah, it's basically a Humvee with a bunch of Stinger missiles in the back and a fucking Maldeus.
Okay, I do know what that is. Now that you describe it, I didn't know that's what it was called.
Yeah.
But I did know it existed.
It's pretty cool. I've never seen one in person, but it's still cool.
Yeah. You know, when you click on a website and it says you are accessing a U.S. government information system, all content provided on this site is distribution A, approved for public release. It's like, wait a minute. Do I want to push A? It'll be fine. Oh, hell, this fucking website. I need to bookmark this one. The 9A-52-4 Tornado is Russia's newest universal multiple rocket launcher. It is designed as a lightweight universal version of the BM-30 Smerch. I did know about the BM-30. Unveiled in 2007 as more strategically and tactical mobile launcher, which means it's probably just the same freaking missile tube shoved onto a truck that has a new body, but the same engine from 1964. Equipped with a single container of 6 launcher tubes for 300 millimeter rockets, which can fire all current Smerch rockets, including HE, frag, incendiary, thermobaric. The video of those thermobaric missiles are, no, thank you.
I'm assuming that's 300 millimeters in diameter.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fucking big.
800 kilogram standard rocket has a maximum range of 90 kilometers.
Show picture. Send nudes.
Send nudes? Oh, I wish they'd let me get the picture bigger.
Just screenshot, or not screenshot.
For all of those you who are listening right now, it looks like a truck with 6 giant paper towel tubes strapped to the back.
It really does. Or like a one of those fireworks that has the multiple tubes on the top. Yeah.
Like the mortars, not the mortars, like the fountains.
Yeah.
They sit on the ground and it's a big tube, and then they launch off the top. You look inside and go, wow. And then you play with it for a week with your army man as a little kid until it rains and then it melts and you got to throw it away.
Oddly specific childhood core memory.
It is oddly specific, but hell, that's what I used to do. Same with the little firework tanks that you light them and they'd have 2 little rockets in the front and 2 little in the back, and then one for a cannon, and they just kind of get scooted along the dirt. Used to use those until it rained too. The 9A-54 can launch rockets singularly by a partial ripple or full salvo, which can cover an area of 52 hectares. Hectares. There we go. I don't know what a fucking hectare is.
I don't either.
Dooley, what's a hectare? He'll know what it is.
I don't even know, honestly, what the actual measurement of an acre is. I just know I want lots of them.
Well, my parents have 80 of them, so it's 1/80th of my parents' land. Boom. Full salvo can be launched within 20 seconds. Can be loaded within 8 minutes. We know that's ideal, and 8 minutes is probably not anything actually happening in the field. And it can also be used with 120 millimeter and 220 millimeter rockets. I will say that's definitely, I mean, as far as shoot and scoot goes, 20 seconds ain't bad.
Yeah.
Considering it's an unarmored truck, so it better be able to scoot.
And it's pretty versatile that it can fire that many different types of munitions instead of just one specific thing.
Yeah. If it can do it.
Well, that's fair.
The thing we've learned about everything Russian, especially since Ukraine, is that it sounds all nice in paper, and then they get it out there and their logistics fall the fuck apart, and then it turns out that the T90 is still pretty much just a T72 with little bits and 2 fucking heat lamps strapped onto the front of it.
It's almost like logistics wins wars.
And the 2 heat lamps on the front of the T. So if you've ever looked at a picture of, I'm going to tank to some. Hold on to your hats. Oh, Dooley says 10,000 square meters is a hectare. An acre is a rod wide and half a mile long. Well, Dooley, some rods are bigger than others. So shut up, man. My acres are pretty small.
I don't even have a whole acre.
42, yeah. 16 feet. If I remember correctly, that measurement for an acre is based on, modern farms, fields are round because of pivots, or squares because of good. No, back in the day, you'd have your horse and you'd run all that shit in big long strips. So I believe that 16-foot measurement comes from there. But Dooley's probably about to knowledge bomb me and make me look like an idiot.
We should just steal Dooley and make him choose between black rifle and black rifle with wood.
Well, that's why that's why I can't introduce you as just Commissar Will anymore. It's gonna have to be Commissar Will Dooley.
Yes,
so we'll have our own Dooley.
That's an insult to Dooley, even though he adopted me.
Anyway, so I thought that would, I thought the cards were fun. We may do that a little bit in the future, although in the future I will not read verbatim from the website because I'll actually memorize a little bit about it first.
Is fine, comrade.
Indeed. So, did you have anything exciting gun-wise going on before I move on to the next thing?
No, I'm still very much enjoying the M14 and tisming out on cloning it. So I haven't been very exciting this week. New job transition has kind of taken away any spare time.
No, don't look at me. I'm no better. But
yeah, but you have a good excuse.
Only barely. But I thought, since it was episode 40, I am not a thought. Suffer not the thought to live. I routinely go through my personal Actually, I need to do it. I routinely go through my personal Instagram account and find all of the hoes and thoughts and all the bot accounts that subscribe to it and purge them all and report them all for pornography. And it's fucking fantastic.
That sounds like too much time.
I may have also reported a certain Colorado state representative for pornography, and you know exactly who I'm talking about.
I do.
And it felt good.
I'm pretty sure everybody knows, but
they denied it, so that's a shame. Anyway, so continue. I thought we'd do a brief continuation of we've had our history of the gun segment going on for a little while. It's been a minute since we actually did an episode of it, because we had a bunch of crap going on over July, and then the wind up to goals, and then the post goals, and
now we're still in the post goals.
Indeed we are. So do you have your Tokarev handy?
Tokarev is behind me. I can has grab along with the Makarov, just because the Makarov has been making me happy now that I finally have ammo in it.
You don't need to grab it, but we're going to talk about its younger brother who has a bigger rod.
Oh, I'm totally grabbing it.
And thus gives your poor little Tokarev. Dr. Scary Guy. Yes, indeed it was that person. I mean, AR-15 podcast, how's the mouth feel on those? Well, the mouth feel on the Makarov is, again, it's kind of a used feeling.
I mean, extremely used. The bluing is fucking beautiful everywhere on this gun, except for the top of the slide and the very front of the muzzle. And it's there's zero chance this thing hasn't been used for war crimes, right? Like,
war crimes or just somebody was really overworked. What's the Soviet version of going postal?
Going postal comrade?
No, in Soviet Russia, post office goes postal on you. But no, Fedor Tokarev, who designed it and invented the Tokarev, which is mostly just a Colt 1903 ripoff. We don't talk about that.
Very true.
No, but he is the designer of the SVT 38, and then rolling on to the SVT 40, which is like, now we're getting into actual semi-automatic battle rifle territory finally. Gas operated 7.62 by 54R cartridge, meant to be at some point to replace entirely the Mosin Nagant. So not too far off mentality from the M1 Garand replacing the 1903 Springfield.
Mm-hmm. But it's almost like the Sturmgewehr and the M1 Garand had a baby, and that baby was way bigger than the Sturmgewehr.
Well, no, SVT 40 predates 38, 1938, and then we're not doing SKS or AK yet. I was just going to continue on the whole series.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I might have been thinking of the STG 44. No, I don't know what I'm thinking of. Never mind. Anyway, continue.
Is that Patton's face? Hang on, I'm distracted by something. I saw a picture of an SVT 38, and the guy's got a tattoo on his arm, and I couldn't tell if it was General Patton or if it was Donald Trump wearing Patton's face. I saw it, so now you have to see it.
Every bit of this is disturbing. Yeah, that's the gun I was talking about.
Yeah, well, that's SVT 38.
Yeah, it's like the M1 Garand and the Sturmgewehr had a baby.
Yeah, but
or maybe the M1 Garand and the SKS.
SKS isn't around yet either, though. They can't have a baby if they're not born.
You clearly don't watch enough sci-fi. Have you ever heard of this thing called Back to the Future, where the dude might have ended up being his own dad?
So believe it or not, no, I've never actually seen that whole movie. However, back in the day, College Humor did a skit. I'm going to get nowhere tonight. College Humor did a skit where Marty McFly goes back into the past and does have sex with his mother, and then returns to the present and talks to what's the doctor's name? Doc something.
Yeah.
Whatever. Talks to Doc. He says, "This time, go back. Do not have sex with your mother." And he goes back and he finds out he's too late. So then he has sex with his mother and himself. And he goes and talks to you had sex with your mother? Yeah. And yourself? Yeah. Oh. And so they sends him back a third time. And then he finds out he's too late. And then I don't remember how it. Oh, I do remember how it ends. Doc is sitting there. Where is he? He should be back by now. And he pulls out the photograph that they use to keep track of events. And it's Marty McFly's mom with like 10 versions of Marty McFly.
This is disturbing.
It's pretty good. Anyway, SVT 38's developed. SVT 40's developed from that. Supposed to replace the Mosin Nagant in service, but they never get around to it. SVT 38 and 40 both see introduction into the Winter War with Finland. It's not super widespread. The 38 in particular had issues with weight and then also durability. So then they redesign it into the 40, improve it a bit. Detachable 10-round magazine, which then, again, this is back in the day when detachable magazines, especially for rifles, you more or less topping them off with stripper clips, not with other magazines.
Yeah. I mean, even the Lee Enfield had a detachable magazine, but the original version, the magazine was chained to the trigger guard because you weren't changing magazines. You were still using stripper clips, but they still had a detachable magazine. It was a wild time.
Even better. Have you seen the trench mags for like Car 98s?
Yes, I have.
Actually, they wouldn't even be Car 98s. At that point, we're going Gewehr 98s. Yeah, the big ass freaking 20-round mags, and then we had them for. I think there was a few of them for the 3 Springfield that were tested as anti-aircraft weapons, mostly shooting from observation balloons at aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
Which, God, that's gotta suck.
And hell, even the SKS didn't originally have a detachable magazine. It was still a fixed 10-round stripper clip fed box mag.
But I bring that up just because detachable magazine these days, we automatically go to, well, shit, I'm going to get 20 of those. Like, no, you're not getting 20 of them. They manufacture 1 million SVT-40s by 1941, and then German invasion in 1941 throws all that shit out the window. They lose a crap ton of rifles, lose a crap ton of their top soldiers as well, which they didn't have that many of those to begin with. And then the SVT-40 gets sidelined to just, nope, we're going to pump out nothing but Mosin Nagants. Because at least we can make a shit ton of these. They're not nearly as finicky, and off we go. And then submachine guns. They started, and then pumping, they start pumping out more and more submachine guns, like we talked about earlier too.
Yeah.
So, although it pops up a ton in video games, the SVT-40 did not pop up a ton on the Eastern Front. It appears here and there. You see it in some pictures. I've heard about it being used by special forces is a stretch to call them that, because this is in the days where militaries hadn't quite developed any doctrine for special forces. I mean, OSS had just been, World War II gave rise to the OSS, which then morphed its way into special forces eventually, per my understanding, at least.
I think that turned more into CIA.
Oh.
But there's the Office of Ungentlemanly Warfare that the Brits had.
Well, the SAS was definitely born in North Africa.
Yeah. The oh crap, what was his name? He played Count Dooku in the Star Wars prequel trilogy. Huh?
Christopher Lee.
Yeah, he was a member of the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
But I've heard of we'll call them special units in the Red Army that would be equipped with those. And I remember a line specifically from the book Enemy at the Gates, not the movie. The book and the movie are, you watch the movie and you go, oh, sweet, I want to read the book. And then you read the book and realize the book's actually a history book, like a nonfiction historical book that they just took the title of for the movie and a couple of pages out and turned it into a movie. You're like, oh, well, shit. But I remember a line from that book specifically about special units of the Red Army rolling around, basically the outskirts of Stalingrad in commandeered civilian cars, hanging SVT-40s out the windows because the guns are so fucking long they couldn't put them in there with them. Don't ask me why that sentence has buried itself in my head for the past 20 years. I don't know.
Nothing surprises me with you anymore, youngest.
Indeed. Well, they converted about 51,000 of them into sniper rifles. For sniper rifles during that whole period are just weird because it has nothing to do with what we think of as a sniper rifle or precision rifle these days. I mean, we're talking about something to be considered a sniper rifle. It's like, oh, it's 2 MOA. Fucking awesome. And these days you look at 2 MOA and people just puke all over the sidewalk. Because like, oh God, which was true. A fucking PSA AR-15 sometimes will just flat out scratch 1 MOA with good ammo in it.
Yeah. Technology. It's a bitch.
It is a bitch indeed. Also, I know the selection process for the Mosin, I think this went through most militaries for figuring out what rifle is going to be a sniper rifle, is not to build them from the ground up. It's to do accuracy testing on a batch, find out like these are the 10 most accurate rifles out of 100. And then those are then converted into sniper rifles versus starting from a, receiver and a barrel and building from there.
Yeah. From my understanding and research, that was pretty common. Because I mean, again, you have to think about manufacturing and materials and stuff in a way different way than we think about it today. Today, I'm starting with nothing and I'm going to end up with a really good battle rifle or a really good mainline infantry rifle or a really good submachine gun or a really good sniper rifle with good glass and all this extra crap on it. Back then, it was, we're making one thing. We're going to take the best of the one thing and we're going to make it do other things that it wasn't originally intended to do because we need the capability.
Indeed. But no, a bunch of them converted into sniper rifles. I believe Vasily Zaitsev ended up at least getting his mitts on one for a while, which, again, I can talk about Soviet snipers and their supposed kill counts later. But fitted with the standard 3.5 PU scope.
Talk about no cheek weld.
Yeah, I mean, given the choice between having to lug around a Mosin sniper rifle or a Mosin PU or SVT-40 with a PU scope on it, I'd take the SVT-40. I want semi-automatic, please.
I don't know. Back then, semi-auto was still such a new thing. I mean, the U.S. is the only country in World War II that fielded a standard mainline semi-automatic rifle. And even then, we were using in-block clips, not magazines, and we still had a shit ton of 03s rolling around. So if you're going to give me the proven technology or the new thing that may or may not be good, I might err on the side of caution. I'm also not an early adopter type of guy.
That's fair. I'm not either. I usually, especially if it's Palmetto State Armory, never buy the first generation, kids. Never.
AR-15 podcast. Why was it assumed that you would know what a hectare was? Because you did.
Look, Dooley. I'm pretty sure you're just as bad as I am about random fucking questions and random answers. We went to the library before this, and the gal was asking my wife, because I stopped by Big R real quick, and the gal's asking my wife, because library and Big R are right next to each other in my town. It's a thing. For some reason, I wander in the library. They're talking about headstones. My wife goes, "Oh, he's right here. Ask him." Man, what the fuck? It turns out this gal's like, "I don't know. I saw a headstone back east, and it wasn't granite and it wasn't marble. What other stone could it be?" It's like, the only thing I can think of is limestone. Just like, I don't know why I know that. Leave me alone.
That's a terrible rock to make a headstone out of.
I don't disagree, but what she was describing sounded a bit like limestone. I don't know.
It's a very soft stone. Doesn't do well with things like erosion. I guess if you want to be forgotten or if your family wants to forget about you, that's
the only rock around. I don't know. Whatever. So 7.62 by 39 gets developed in 1943. Soviet small arms thinking is changing by that point, because at that point now the STG, not 44,
40.
No, sorry. MP-43 was the designation before Sturmgewehr 44. By that point, it is starting to turn up a little more commonly on the Eastern Front and also down in North Africa. And the Soviets reverse engineer 7.62 by 39 out of 8mm curves.
Yeah,
that's where we lead eventually into Das SKS.
And there was a bolt action 7.62 by 39. There's supposed to be a rifle for like reserve troops and like homeland reserve defense type stuff, which was a bolt action. There was the SKS, which was supposed to be the mainline infantry rifle, and then the AK-47 was supposed to be a submachine gun, but everybody realized that detachable magazines, select fire, and just everything else about the AK was better than the SKS for fighting. Also, do you know why the Sturmgewehr 44 had two different nomenclatures?
Oh, please tell me it's not because the fucking Wehrmacht went with one designation and the fucking SS with another.
It's even worse.
Oh, great.
So they developed this thing, and this is to my understanding. I am not a professional historian, but this falls into my tism. One of my tisms. Hitler was very, very controlling and liked to have as many decisions as possible, basically funneled all the way up to him to be made, versus delegating and letting people that actually know what the fuck's up make decisions. And so he denied the original program, but the people involved in the program and the people higher up in the military were like, no, this is actually probably a really good thing that we should have. So they just renamed it so that when reports came across his desk, it wasn't the thing that he denied. So he didn't get pissy about it. That's my understanding.
Good thing that guy was a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Isn't it interesting how you were talking about, we've got this semi-automatic magazine-fed battle rifle, and then we're getting invaded. So now scrap the new thing. We're going to go back to what we already were doing that we know that we can do cheaper and easier and quicker and more of. And then throughout war, as conflicts go on, not only do we either revisit the idea that we scrapped earlier or find new ways to progress and be better, like, I don't know, a fucking nuke at war. It's funny how that cycle, dips and rises when conflicts start.
Well, that's like the Sherman tank. Everybody shits on the Sherman tank, and the reason that we didn't fuck too much, we upgraded the Sherman tank a couple of times, but the reason we didn't fuck around with too many of the upgun Shermans, even though like the Brits threw the I forget the gun, but the Brits built the Firefly that has a British. They do all their fucking guns in pounds, which is why I don't remember them very well. Whatever. But it was found to be not a very fightable tank because it doesn't have enough room inside. And why fuck with a perfectly good tank to then put out like that's the fucking Germans did that big time. They fucked around with if they had produced more, they could have produced far more Panzer IIIs and just skipped doing anything to do with Tigers or I love the Panther. The Panther is like one of my favorite looking tanks, but
also
so many mechanical problems because we designed a tank and we didn't work out all the kinks. We just built, fucking 500 of them and sent them to the Eastern Front, and 105 of those, or I can't remember the stats off the top of my head, but a significant number of them broke down before they ever made it to combat.
Also, I will say something we learned, at least in the Pacific Theater, it is always acceptable to add a flamethrower to a tank. That's one upgrade.
Damn right.
Always allowed.
The Brits did too with the crocodile. The Churchill crocodile. The fun thing about the Churchill crocodile, though, is it drags all the I almost said petrol like my fucking Brit. It drags all the gasoline, all the napalm in a little wagon behind it.
That's smart.
Yeah.
There's a video. I can't remember who did it. It may have been the Fat Electrician. I can't remember, but there was a video about a bunch of tanks that we modified in World War II for things like makeshift portable bridges and different basically we need something to do a thing that's not just shooting at things and people, but we need that thing to not be blown up as easily or shot through as easily as like a normal truck. So there were just a shit ton of different tank designs where they took a tank, most of the time took the gun off, put something else on it to do a battlefield task, which I thought was cool.
That works until you get into like the Russian the T-14 Armada, the tank they displayed. I can't remember when they came out with it, but fairly recently. Supposed to be like, ooh, it's our biggest, baddest, latest fucking tank, and it's the one that has all the crews down the hole as a remote control turret. And they intended that to be an entire family of armored vehicles. So it's going to be the tank, it's going to be the fucking bridge layer, it's going to be fucking everything it's supposed to be. Everything we could possibly conceive of. The problem with that is then you end up putting a whole bunch of armor onto vehicles that don't need that much armor. So, you may not need, for a bridge layer, you might, but for like they use the same chassis for for recovery vehicles. It was the plan anyway. They haven't because the T-14 is kind of vaporware. But somewhere along the line, somebody thought it'd be a good idea to use it for the armored recovery vehicle. So, a tank gets knocked out, and after the battle, you got to send something to go recover the tank. Well, that vehicle that goes to recover the tank doesn't necessarily have to have the same armor as your main battle tank. So now it just eats up more fuel. It's heavier. It's slower. I just hit my keyboard a whole bunch of times. Yeah. Anyway, GatLab asked what version the Sherman chassis had recoilless rifle mounted. I don't know off the top of my head what you're talking about, unless you're talking about the M50 Ontos, which was not a Sherman. It's a different armored body, but it has 6 recoilless rifles strapped to the top.
Jesus. I feel like it wouldn't be hard to replace the 30 cal or the Ma Deuce with a recoilless rifle.
Sherman E8 barrel? I don't know. I'm sure it's a thing, but it's probably one of those weird.
Oh, we've done all kinds of fucky shit. America is very good at looking at stuff and going, how can I make this better at killing things? Doesn't matter what it is.
On it.
Even bats. It doesn't matter what it is. Let's figure out how to weaponize everything.
I mean, I don't know if it's purely anecdotal, but it might be purely, but there's an anecdote going around that supposedly came from the Brits in World War II, that the Americans just put fucking machine guns on everything. And I believe at least came from the M3 Lee tank, that when we sent those over to the Brits, or at least they wanted to buy some, so we went, all right, fine, here. And they looked at it and went, why does this tank have so many fucking machine guns?
The real question is, why are you gay for asking that question?
Well, to be fair, I mean, the original crew size on the M3 Lee was like 7, which is a lot of guys to stick in one armored box. So maybe you should cut down a couple of machine guns and reduce the number of dead bodies inside the tank later. Anyway, I'm getting off track. We didn't have a track to begin with.
No, we definitely did not tonight.
We touched a little bit on SVT-40. SVT-40, cool rifle. Would have been interesting to see what would have happened had they gotten it more into mass manufacture. So basically, had World War II not happened. But yeah, go back to doing the Mosin Nagant, because at that point, you might as well make the rifles that you fucking know how to make. Because you need a shit ton of them.
And your troops are already trained on it. You don't have to do a whole new manual of arms and all that shit.
Training?
Plus,
what training?
7.62 by 54R. The R is rimmed because it's a rimmed cartridge. So mag lock. Or rim lock in a mag.
You could work around it.
I mean, yeah, but it's probably it's easier to work around when you can just pull the floor plate and dump the rounds in your hand and reload them, or load from a different stripper clip, than it is to rework an entire magazine that got loaded shitty.
I was going to say it also works well as a specialist rifle, someone who's going to get a little bit more training, as opposed to, here, you're a swinging dick, have a gun.
Conscript. Take a rifle.
Rim Job Radio got excited because we said rim.
Yeah, so that's our crossover episode. 7.62 by 54R it's not a rim fire, but we'll call it a rim fire for the purposes of the crossover.
Oh, that would be horrible. I'm imagining a rim fire anything besides 22 LR. Oh yeah, okay, 17 and all that other stuff. But like, here's your, hey Mike, you want to get a 30-06, but it's rim fire?
Yeah,
he'd probably say yes, because he'd be like, "Oh, 30-06, I love 30-06."
That sounds god awful.
Tell me more,
dude. Think about pin fire too.
Oh,
like, yeah, that's even worse. At least rim jobs are still a popular thing.
For anybody who doesn't know what a pin fire is, take your metallic cartridge and put a straw in the top of the base of the cartridge that sticks out 90 degrees from the base of the cartridge. And the hammer comes down. It's not a straw, it's a pin, literal pin hanging out. So cartridge, and then like a snorkel out of the head of the case is a little pin, and your hammer falls and hits the pin and pushes it down into a primer inside the case, or at least a priming compound inside the case, and make it go boom.
Allegedly. Yeah, it's like, you know, in the cartoons and movies and stuff, you see the plunger with the wires going out to blow up a charge. You have to pull the plunger up and push it down. That's basically what that is. It's a little plunger that your hammer pushes down to make the explosion happen in the cartridge. And sometimes it works.
And I think my favorite, ugliest gun in the world, I think the only place I've ever seen it was on an episode of Forgotten Weapons. And I think it's Rock Island Auction, I think is who had the pictures of it. I don't look it up now. But so the Lamont revolver do I have time for this? I have brief time for this. Now we're going back to the Civil War, maybe. The Lamont revolver is a sweet fucking revolver. A little finicky in actual use, but it's I can't remember how many shots it is of it's not a fucking 44, is it?
It probably is. A lot of guns back then were around that
42.
size.
Okay. 42 or 36. But the barrel pin is a 20 gauge muzzle loading shotgun bore. So you have a cylinder of, I believe, probably let's call it 6 shots, because I don't remember off the top of my head. Here's the problem with me. I learn a lot of shit, and then I forget a lot of shit. I have a retention problem.
Did you get that looked at?
Anyway, no. So you've got fucking, Firefly and Achilles I was thinking of. Okay. So the Sherman Firefly uses that weird ass British gun, and then the Achilles, it's the fucking tank destroyer, isn't it?
Don't remember. I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard of
British
the Achilles.
variant. Why does this guy know British variants? Yeah, the Achilles is the British variant of the M10 tank destroyer. Anyway, the Lamont revolver is really cool because you've got your cap and ball cylinder of 42 or 36, and then you have a muzzle loader fucking 20 gauge shotgun for a barrel pin, and you switch between the two of them. There's a little flick on the hammer, but there's a pin fire for the Lamont that came out later. That if you just Google Lamat, so LEMAT Lamat pin fire revolver, it is the ugliest, most gorgeous, steampunkiest looking piece of shit you will ever see.
My favorite ugly gun, which I don't actually think is ugly, but it is kind of ugly, is I'm gonna share it if StreamYard will respond to me clicking things, is the Mateba. It's a semi-automatic revolver. So when you fire the first shot, the whole upper part of the frame reciprocates and cocks the hammer back to single action. And it's bottom cylinder firing, which I'm pretty sure is where Chiappa got the inspiration for their Rhino. But yeah.
Similar to that is the Webley Fosbury, which looks just like a Webley, but the entire top half of the Webley reciprocates under recoil. Mm-hmm. There's a bunch of channel cuts in the cylinder to actuate the
cylinder rotation and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen those too. Very interesting. Forgotten Weapons is full of lots of information, unlike us.
I wonder if he remembers his information or if he's just better about refreshing his memory before he starts talking about things.
Oh, I guarantee you he does a shit ton of research before videos.
Unlike
especially
me, who sits down 10 minutes before is like, what are we going to talk about tonight?
Same. Oops. I mean, especially since he's actually deep diving into history and taking stuff apart, and as he does more videos, I'm sure he sees weird guns all the time where he's like, I've already done a video on a gun like this. It doesn't have any historical provenance, so I'm not going to video another one. I have to find something weirder. I have to find something cooler. I have to find something that's just more and more out there. And so his available content is kind of narrowing by design, I would think.
Mm-hmm. Klecker says he's learned 90% of his Russian equipment from playing Arma Reforger. I tried playing Arma Reforger. The Xbox port does not work out well for that game, at least not with me.
I've never heard of it.
Oh, so Arma is like a really, like, you know, Battlefield and shit and Call of Duty. Those are like the fast-paced action military like shooters, with especially Battlefield, where you've got, you know, you're but 36 people in a single lobby or what. Arma is that, but the map is fucking huge and they turned the realism dial up. So you don't have a mini map. You have a like Arma Reforger, you don't have a mini map, you have a button that pulls up a map and a button that pulls up a compass. You're like, okay, where am I going? Like, you can practice your land nav in Arma Reforger almost.
This sounds a lot like Tarkov, actually.
It's like, damn it, if I don't want to practice my land nav, I want to go kill some fucking NATO troops. And so then you make it over there. But it's brilliant because you're like, well, I think there's bad guys over there, so I'll just start randomly shooting, and then some asshole sniper shoots you and you get mad and you quit. It's fine.
It doesn't sound like my speed of game.
It could be if I don't have a computer that'll hold it up, and then it didn't want to hold up on the Xbox port that well enough for me to keep playing it. So
that's valid.
GatLab rocket propelled ammo and the entire. So he likes gyro jets, and the entire South African small arms industry from the 60s and the 90s are fidget spinner. Oh, well, then I'll have to get you on, because at some point I do want to talk about that kind of shit. South Africa and South African small arms is an interesting topic, especially because so much for me on the crap that I get off on too. So much of our modern, what we consider to be our modern tactical gear, a lot of it was influenced through South Africa, especially chest rigs. That type it's not Type 88, is it? That sounds too Chinese. Which one is it? 83. The fucking Type 83 chest rig is like, put 2 rows of molly in the damn thing and it's a modern chest rig. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Anyway.
We do have an announcement to make before we close out. So do you have any closing thoughts before announcements?
I should shut up. That's Negative. My closing thought. I should not say any more, or I'll go off on another tangent.
I mean, when we're hanging out in person, yes, but when we're on a podcast, it's kind of nice to have somebody else talking. So
the secret, kids, is that the only reason these shows exist is to let Sam randomly fill airspace with nonsense words.
Do we have any reviews?
Not yet, which means you people suck. Just kidding. I need to start putting this. I need to put this little call to action closer to the front of the show, because it makes a huge difference, I think. But leave us a review. Go to your favorite podcast apps. Leave a review for AK-47 Radio on there. If you do, you can submit a contact form through AK47radio.net or follow one of the links on AK47radio.net to the Discord. Let me know, or just when I say let me know, just fucking post in the Discord that says, I left a review. Tell me where you left it. I'll go find it. We'll read it on the show, and I will send you stickers.
The stickers look pretty sexy, by the way.
They're looking pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm excited to get rid of the first generation of them to then skip the Gen 2, but we'll get to that later.
Other announcements, just a reminder, next week, Washington Gun Law, September 1st, we're planning on having another guest on. I will leave them anonymous, but I do have confirmed details that we'll have somebody on.
Oh, I know who this is. Never mind.
I
was thinking, shit, do I even know who this person is?
Yeah. And stay tuned, because we're still trying to get more guests and companies on that we met and interacted with at Goals. So who knows, maybe we'll have a random last minute guest, and you guys aren't going to want to miss it, because guests are always fun, especially when they're cool. We made sure we didn't invite people on that we didn't think would mesh well with our style.
Speaking from personal experience on a couple of years ago, guests that are not fun. There are not fun guests. Trust me.
Can happen.
Can indeed. All right. Well, thank you for listening. I think that'll do it for tonight. Don't you think that'll do it for tonight?
I think that'll do it for tonight.
That'll do it for tonight. All right. Well, like I said, go leave us a review. Let us know that you left a review, and I will send you free stickers. I'll even pay for the postage. It will not it will not arrive COD. Oh, that would be funny as fuck. Here's your stickers, but you got to pay for them after all.
Oh no, Rimfire Radio. We are not talking about you. You guys were fun guests to have on.
There's a reason I wasn't there.
There are people that I wanted to ask on that I was like, you know what? No.
Yeah, all been there. All right, well, that'll do us for tonight. Go get some training, get some medical training so you don't die because a dead Wolverine's a fucking lame Wolverine. Unless it's trying to eat your leg, in which case, kill that fucking Wolverine.
10 mil.
To the face. All right. Good night.
До свидания, comrades.
End stream. End stream.